So why did I apply to the YCU? Yeah, well, I basically, like, I had no experience writing dramatically, but it's always something I kind of wanted to try, to, like, just explore, look into, see if it was for me. So I wanted to learn all of it because I didn't really know, like, any of it. And yeah, and it was nice to just sort of have the opportunity to just like, it's a nice sort of low stakes kind of thing, so you can just try it, just see what comes out.
I had never really had any sort of training or community or group to write with. I had always just done it on my own, and so I really joined the YCU kind of for two parts. Firstly, because I wanted to meet other writers and to write as part of a group and to kind of make more of a larger community and connections with other writers. And the other was just because I wanted some sort of formal training or guidance on, like, to make sure I was doing this playwriting thing right and wasn't just making it all up. So I wanted some sort of just some to put what I was doing by myself into a larger context.
I applied because I need community to keep me accountable. I need generous other people around doing the same thing to give me the courage and discipline to do something.
I was an actor in someone's YCU showcase in the past, and I was so inspired to see, like, all of these young people writing amazing things. And I thought to myself, I have to write amazing things. So, yes. I was really terrified to be with a group of people who I assumed would be way more knowledgeable and way cooler than I was. And I assumed I would be really clueless and I wouldn't know how to write. But for some reason, I felt really brave one day and I wrote to Jessie saying I would like to be part of this.
It was less about specific skills and tools, and it was more, can I challenge myself to show up in this way and be seen in this way that for me is felt much more vulnerable than being seen as an actor, which is what my training is in.
It's quite powerful to work with other writers. Writing is a really solitary practice, I find, at least for myself, and it can feel really lonely, and a lot of my work just feels bad, like, all the time. But when you bring it to other people and you read it out loud, or other people read it out loud, and you get opinions, there have been so many times where I've walked into the room with a piece of writing that I thought was shit and was like, I can never put this in the world, and then heard it from other people and was like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever written. You know what I mean? And sometimes I've listened to it and been like, oh my God, this is not the best thing I've ever written. But you'd be surprised of how exciting it is to work with other writers who have completely different backgrounds.
A friend of mine had actually completed the program in the past and made me really interested in it. And it was not my first time in a writing workshop, but it was my first time working with other theater artists in a capacity where my scripts were not just being discussed as a piece of writing, but I was hearing from theater artists, like directors and actors, about how my work would practically be staged, which I think added a layer of depth that I wasn't really getting from other writing workshops I had done in the past.
I really just reached out to Jessie because a friend encouraged me to.
And she told me to contact Playwrights Workshop Montreal just because I really liked writing.
And then he just wanted to meet with me and then work with me.
Actually, it was directed to me, and I couldn't be more grateful being a part of a group who also has the same passion of mine, and it gave me purpose to explore my writing techniques, to explore myself.
I remember going to see shows at the Fringe, and I was always very intrigued to see which shows had gone through that process. I I was always very, very, very intrigued to see, the shows that came out of Playwrights Workshop Montreal, or that there was something, that had been workshopped there. Most of them, I think, that I saw that year had done the YCU program, and I just thought that was just so great to like have a year where you could work on a show.
I applied to the Young Creators Unit because I was interested in having some mentorship when I was working on a research creation piece for my undergrad honors thesis project. I think there's so many great examples in the Western canon, if you will, that like are ripe for reinvention and reinterpretation. You know, we just saw Antigone breathed a lot of new life in with the 2018 film that was released. These are like classical stories that build up a lot of what our culture is based on, and like understandings of different ideas such as gender roles and work ethic and all these things that are ripe for reinterpretation, for criticism, for deconstruction or disillusion, and I was really excited by that. So I applied to the YCU in 2019 for some guidance to adapt Franz Kafka's Hunger Artist into a one-woman show.
So I did my bachelor's of theater at Concordia, and YCU like had a really big reputation as just this like cool place where artists go and to develop their work. And I heard about it, and I wanted to check it out. So I went to mostly to like get a community of like English speaking artists from Montreal that were into writing and into creating. I would say the community aspect is what I was looking for. And also like I was into having regularity, like looking for a place where I could sort of be pushed to write every week. A bit like school, but like, like a transition period between school and career.